Hello, everybody. My plan is to finish Paper Perjury tonight, so they released the first half of Chapter 6, but I'm not gonna play it until it's done. So the plan is to do Chapter 5 tonight. If the previous chapter was about 2 hours, then I'm hoping that this chapter is also about 2 hours. We'll see. Had I saved? Yes, I had. I had entered the chapter and then saved. Did I already talk to you? Nicknames. You know, I like how you give us all cute nicknames, Sophie. Hey, finally someone appreciates my craft. Justy is very fitting for you. But I'm curious, how come Sue doesn't have one? Well, I just didn't see the point. I mean, Sue is so short and all. She already tried it. She started calling us Susie, and then she started getting loads of paperwork on a desk. It was a perfect nickname. I'll do my best to never get on Sue's bad side. All this running around today is making me tired. How about I go make a coffee run for us? I don't drink that stuff. Water's the only liquid I need. You sure? Starlight Coffee has the best lattes ever. It's a Justina guarantee to be a transcendental experience. Starlight? I'm quite partial to their caramel macchiatos myself. Sounds like this is more for you two than me. I might have just missed my chance to get some this morning. Speaking of Sunday nights, Sue said something about a drinking contest. What was that all about? Oh, it's nothing. Those two had a contest a couple years ago. Red has sworn off drinking ever since. How badly did you lose? Listen, the less you know, the better. If you value your life, never go drinking with Sue. My life? No criminal will ever be as scary as her. Is there even anything to investigate here? I investigate bush. All this time I never noticed those flowers outside the station. What was that? Yeah. My wife has seen a post. Oh no, no! What the fuck? You can't just eat him. That's fucked up. Those have been here since I started working here. Oh my god. Dendromacon rigida, also known as bush poppy. They are fast-growing shrubs that are native to the area. It says here that they bloom in late winter to early spring. Basically around the time you started here. Then I started working here at the right time. I see a lot of poppy flowers around here now that I think about it. I don't think I've ever seen someone sit in these chairs. Those are for the general public to wait, not for us police types. But it looks so soft and comfy. I'd just love to take a nap here if I got a chance. With all the coffee you drink, I'd be shocked if you could even nap anymore. Caffeine doesn't really work that well on me anymore. I have to drink that much just to feel it. I think my body is just too used to it. Maybe you should lay off the coffee for a bit. Take a tolerance break. But, coffee? What are these for? This is the community board. It's so people can put up flyers for local events and businesses. Oh, look! They're having a blood drive next week. We should go donate, Justy. They give you a free cookie afterwards, too. Oh, you see, I'm actually really busy next week. Justy, it's for the good of others. Don't you want to help your community? I can't. I don't do well with needles. I hated getting shots as a kid. They don't get easier as adult. Oh, come on. It's not that bad. We can go together. I'll be your moral support. I could even hold your hand when they poke the needle in. Stop! I don't need to visualize that. You're making it even worse. Alright, we're going to the lobby. May 2nd, Eubank Investments lobby. Back here once again. Looks like nothing changed. Good morning and welcome to Eubank Investments. Oh, you're new. Where we are investing in a beautiful future for you. Well, that's new. I'm Detective Sophie Swift for the Azure Cities Police. We're here to investigate the death of Mr. Anton Chambers. A pleasure to meet you, Detective. I'm Joy Collins, and I'll be happy to assist you today. What an honor it is to have 2 officers of our fine police force today. Ah, a bootlicker. Eubank Investments welcomes you both. In fact, I have it here that our president has been inspecting you. President? Anton Chambers was the president. Have they already replaced him? Ah, there you are, Detective. Yep. Oh, you're the assistant from the other day. Let's see. Lowell Ledger, Administrative Assistant at Eubank Investments. Seems your information is outdated. As of today, I have been promoted to President. You became President? How did that come about exactly? Simple. With the tragic passing of our former president, Mr. Eubank has been in a state of shock. The two of us spent all day yesterday trying to deal with the fallout of his death. We didn't know that when Anton was last here, it would be the last time we saw him, so until matters are resolved, I have been promoted to president of the company in order to help our CEO in these troubling times. That's a pretty huge promotion. If I may ask, what time did you see Anton leave here? He left here at 6:20 p.m. on the dot. And that was the last time you saw him? Correct. Once he left, I didn't see him again. He showed up at my dad's store at 6:30, and it's not too far from here. That does line up with the facts that we know. Since we're here, do you mind telling us more about where you were that day? Sorry, but I'm rather busy right now. I really must be going now. Being president of Eubank Investments has left me very busy. But Miss Collins is more than happy to book an appointment next if you'd like. This guy's really getting on my nerves. So if you excuse me, I have a meeting with Mr. Eubank to attend to. I guess we have to hunt him down later. Miss Collins, were you here the night of Anton's death? Absolutely. I work here Sunday through Thursday for 10 hours a day. 10 hours? How can you possibly handle that? Here at Eubank Investments, days just fly by with how much fun it is. And the overtime pay certainly helps. Screw that PR nonsense. She's doing this for the money. Justin, I guess you are a cop, literally. Can you tell us what you saw that day? Absolutely. Actually, she's not even a cop. She's a fucking secretary. Anything for the wonderful cops who protect our city. Let me pull my recordings out. Recordings? I tend to use my phone when I record things I want to remember. Here's my recording. April 30th, Eubank, at 6:23 p.m., Eubank Investments reception desk. I was informed that Mr. Chambers left just a little bit ago. The night should be quiet until my shift ends at 8 p.m. Beep! I stayed on the first floor the whole night. As far as I know, he didn't return. Alright. Mind if we get a copy of this recording? Of course not! Anything to help! First time I heard a recording being used as a statement. So, how else can I assist you two today? We'd like to have a chat with Mr. Eubank. Mr. Eubank is currently in the president's office. He has a meeting with our beloved president, so feel free to wait here until he's done. PR speak. You seem surprisingly excited about working here. Absolutely. Eubank Investments is all about building a better future. I'm the first face visitors see. It's important that I convey those values to them with a smile. I don't know how you do it. I did customer service once and I absolutely hated it. Having to fake a smile all the time, all the while dealing with rude and entitled people. If you want my advice, look for something better before the creeps come by. The wonderful people working here are never like that. Besides, it's a great way of networking with the higher-ups. Huh? Yeah, you know, networking, rubbing shoulders with the executives. I'm making opportunities for myself for the future. I'm aiming for a degree in urban and regional planning. And if Eubank Investments has plans for the future of our city, wouldn't being so familiar with them give me a leg up? If I can make sure I'm on their minds, I'll have the job for sure. So that's why you're doing this? Exactly. I've got my foot in the door. Once I graduate, I'll already know the hiring managers by name. That's a pretty clever plan. I never knew there could be so much to a simple job like this. I'm in awe. So why do you record voice memos like that? I find it to be like keeping a journal, just with your own voice. Writing is such a pain. It takes so long and feels so impersonal. There's also something reassuring about listening to yourself. No way, I hate hearing my own voice. I can't stand it. First time I heard it, I thought it was really weird. I don't know how you do it. Once you listen to it a few times, you get used to it. Plus, I think you have a very lovely voice. Really? Yeah, you do. It's so passionate and energetic. It fits you so well. It's like a door to your soul. Huh? Where did this... I mean, thank you, I guess. Sorry, I didn't mean to blurt that all out. My bad. Something the matter? No, I was just thinking. But your partner has a point. You have a wonderful voice. Thanks. Why am I blushing this hard? Complimented by women. Miss Collins, we heard that Mr. Chambers' car might be here. Will we be able to see it? Of course, it should be in the parking garage. We have a specialist preparing it to be delivered to the family. They can give you the details on the car. Mr. Eubank's meeting is going to take a while. Might as well check out the garage instead of waiting here. The receptionist's desk. I guess we finally gotten to meet its owner. Kinda want to poke around, but isn't that a bit rude with her standing right there? Wait, why is Sophie already going through it? Hey, Justy, check it out. Look what I found. Is that a toy mouse? Is this a cat toy? Oh, that thing. I have no idea where it came from. I found it by my chair Sunday night. We don't have any cats in the building, so I have no idea how it got there. It just showed up? Yeah, quite the mystery, really. Plus, when I found it, it was really gross and wet. It must have been in some animal's mouth. Any idea what type of cat? There was some orange and white fur nearby, but that's about it. Orange and white fur. Sounds familiar. Is there any way a cat could have been in here? Eubank Investments has a strict no-animal policy. Only service animals are allowed inside our building. Dogs and miniature horses only. Miniature horses? Azure City legalized miniature horses as service animals. You didn't know? How am I supposed to know that? I didn't even know horses could be miniature. In any case, cats aren't able to become service animals, so if there was a cat in here, it must have been a secret. You're welcome to take the toy mouse. I've just been keeping it here in case the owner comes looking for it. I have a feeling it won't be useful, but I guess it's best to leave no stone unturned. I have a feeling I know who that cat belongs to. Good to see those flowers are doing so well. It brightens up the place. Mrs. Eubank brings fresh flowers every week. She said it was important to keep ourselves optimistic despite the circumstances. She ordered some red ones to give to Mr. Chambers' family. Apparently those represent remembrance. He may be gone, but his impact on this company will never be forgotten. Interesting. Those flowers have a lot of meaning behind them. I think it's good to have a reminder of these feelings. Having these flowers on my desk every day helps me feel a little bit happier. That's a nice sentiment. Maybe I'll get some for my own desk. Something to get me through all the soul-crushing paperwork. There's something so unsettling about sitting in front of this logo. Unsettling? Quite the opposite. This logo embodies strength and hope. To me, it's a symbol I can see with pride, a representation of all the good work our company does. I don't know, to me it feels like something you'd see in a dystopian film, like the company is always watching. Well, that just means they can watch how well I do. It's nice to have your work recognized. If I can show it off well enough, maybe I'll even get a raise. No, it's definitely dystopian. Such windy weather on such a woeful Wednesday. But isn't today a Tuesday? I know, but it's the only day that starts with W. You can't keep all the alliteration going without it. What are you, some kind of poet? It's nothing really. I just like wordplay, I guess. I think you have a really nice way with words, Justy. Have you ever thought of writing poetry? Not really. I'm not sure I'd be any good at it. What does it matter if you're good at it or not? I just think you have a really beautiful way of expressing yourself. I just want to see more of that. Why do my cheeks suddenly hurt? This is so embarrassing. There's a bunch of chairs and sofas here. It doesn't look like anything's changed since we were last here. What's up, detective? Doesn't look like anyone's cleaned here in a while. Huh? We humbly apologize for the state of affairs our office is currently in. At the moment, this office has been reduced to essential staff only. Most of the office is working from home, and Mr. Eubank has put the cleaning crew on paid vacation until further notice. Normally, the crews would clean in here from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day. What's the reason for the change? Mr. Eubank didn't specify, but I'm sure he has his reasons. Perhaps he simply wanted to give the staff a much-needed break. Highlight what you said to the evidence. Now let's check out that garage. There's a car wash in here? May 2nd, Eubank Investments, garage. Well, this is certainly a parking garage, about as plain as you can get. Were you expecting something different? I thought the Eubanks might go for something more extravagant. After everything you've seen of them, you still believe that? They live in a modest home, drive modest cars, and work in simple and plainly decorated office. Just admit it, they're the furthest from extravagance you can get. I guess you make a pretty good point. Maybe I have misjudged them. What are you two doing here? Yeah, I thought it might be. Meg? Forget about us. What are you doing here? I'm working. There was a car that got left here that I was sent to pick up. Something about the owner dying. In those cases, my company gets hired to tow off and fix up the car. We're investigating the death of said owner, Anton Chambers. How did your company get involved with this? It's quite simple. Fuck. Our company got contacted yesterday morning. They told us they wanted to repair the car for the family of someone that passed away. Given that I was most familiar with Eubank Investments, they wanted me to take the job. I have been working on this car since yesterday. Now look at her, she's a thing of beauty. Otherwise, the only unusual thing I found was some clumps of wool in the car trunk. Do you remember who contacted your company? Afraid not, I just took the job. I only got the call around 9. Do you think it's important? If Meg started working on this yesterday, then whoever contacted them knew Anton's car was here. Yet no one contacted the police. I bet it was done on purpose. But what about the wool? Why is it unusual? Because nothing in the car is made of wool. All the seats are made of leather. What do you use wool for? It's often used in blankets, rugs, gloves, upholstery, car seats. None of which I found in the car. I still have some of the wool if you want it. Might as well take some. Another mystery to add to the pile. Thanks, Meg. Do you mind if we look around? I don't mind. Let me know if you need anything. How are things between you and Fry? About as bad as it gets. We haven't really talked at all. I'd really like to be friends with him again, but I'm not sure what to do. I mean, I don't even know how to face him now, because of Annie's fake love letter. I mean, we'd been friends for so long, I never even considered the possibility of him having feelings for me. I don't know, I feel so conflicted, I just don't want to hurt him. Don't you think avoiding the problem is hurting him more? You don't have to date him, but you should at least be honest with him about how you feel. She's right, I don't think it's worth sacrificing your friendship over. You're right. I'll try to sort things out in my head and I'll go talk to him. Thanks, you two. Meg, I know we didn't get a chance to talk after everything that happened last week. I'm fine. I spoke to them last week and I'm still processing my feelings. What happened? Well... Oh shit, a flashback. April 25th, Azure City Police Precinct Number 5 Station Offices. Annie, Bill, you got a guest. We normally wouldn't allow it, but she's an exception. Meg, I can explain. The detective already told me everything. I just want to say a few things. After the crash, I started saving up to get the part you need. I thought it was my fault and I wanted to fix it. I know you used that car for the kids, but there had to be a better way. I never wanted you to feel responsible for the crash. It was my fault for leaving in a hurry. I should have waited until you came back. But maybe there was a better way. Annie. The Klaus orphanage was our home. I don't understand. Were we not good enough? Were we that much of a burden? If we all pitched in, maybe we could have made your dream come true. I never wanted the orphanage gone, just moved. You kids are important to me. But no amount of pitching in could have been enough. At the time, it felt like the only choice I had. But you never gave us a chance. I can forgive Bill, but I don't think I can forgive you. Listen, Meg, you're a gifted young woman. It took me years to find what I wanted. You already knew what you wanted to do the day you saw me work on my car. So go and do it. I'm proud of you. Meg ran off. Let go of me, I need to talk with her. I'm sorry, sir, you have to stay here. But she has already been through enough. She needs time. I'm sorry. I know it's tough. You two did the right thing exposing her. I know that the person who died recently was the one who helped her. That's why I took this job from my company. I wanted to see this place for myself. Learn about who he was and why he was so evil. I've seen a lot of people as a traffic cop. There's one thing I learned, no one is evil. Selfish or nearsighted, but never evil. What he did with Annie was wrong, but he was just a person at the end of the day. I'm sure there's good in him we will never see. Thanks. Sorry for getting off topic. Helping friends is worth getting off topic. So if you need to talk, come by my office at the station. I'll keep that in mind. How were you able to open the car? Mr. Chambers' body didn't have his keys. His ex-wife had a spare key, and that's what I've been using. Has anyone turned in any other keys? Nope, I have had the only copy as far as I am aware. Do you think the culprit threw the original key away? Maybe, but then why take the keys at all? There must be something we're missing. Are there any cameras here? We could catch Mr. Chambers leaving his car. Afraid not. There are some outside, but none inside. Meaning we don't know exactly who was here Sunday night. We knew a rich company could be so cheap. Are these the only cars in the whole garage? Yeah, I bet this place is packed most workdays. I wonder what kind of cars these employees can afford. I bet they buy the ones with heated seats. Trust me, adding those in manually is way harder than it might seem. But it already seems hard. Which one is Joy's car? Oh, none of these. I think she takes the bus every day. Guess that means she took the bus on Sunday as well. Poster. It's a poster for a car wash. Looks like a good deal. I should take my car there. I didn't know you got a car. Built it myself, and it's been running like a dream. No more buses for me. I'm finally free. Hey now, what's wrong with buses? I just prefer controlling my own travel time. Yeah, but there's less stress when you take a bus. They deserve more respect. Seems we have a champion of buses here. I just used them all the time before I started driving, and they were great. When I didn't have money, I could sneak into the back when the driver wasn't looking. Justy, how often did you break the law? That car wash is looking real good. The silver one is the beauty I was called to repair. What kind of work did it need? When his car was found, there were dents and scratches all around. I checked the area. It seems like areas within the garage had scratches from his car. How was it damaged? The taillights were broken and some of the bits on the floor. It seems he backed it up into a wall harder than normal and damaged it. Do you think he was just a bad driver? I doubt he did this every time he parked here. Something must have happened here on the day he died. What do you mean? It's a custom-built stick-shift car, so it's pretty hard to drive if you're not familiar with the car. Anton drove stick? Color me impressed. Why? It's just a car. Have you ever driven a stick-shift before? No, but it's just a car. How hard could it be? Justy, Justy, Justy. My lovable, naive Justy. One doesn't simply drive a stick-shift. It takes years of hardship to properly drive a stick-shift. I watched an online tutorial and thought I could give it a try with this bad boy. I almost got into an accident just trying to start it. Is it really that hard to drive? Still, this is too strange to ignore, so I should write this down. It's so cool that Owen drives an electric car. His car has all the new features. Adaptive cruise control to help maintain a safe driving distance, a light-up trunk release to open the trunk from the inside, voice command features to adjust settings so the driver can keep their eyes on the road. Cars can have those? Progress is moving so fast. Trunk releases have been required for years, likely even in your car. But the rest are so far only in luxury cars. But those sound useful. Adaptive cruise control sounds like it can save lives. They should be like the trunk to release. They are still new tech, so government regulation has been slow. If anything, the rich are the beta testers. They are paying extra for unproven features. That does make sense. I'll write this down. This red one is Lowell's car. His car looks pretty plain by comparison. I doubt he's made as much money as the two heads of the company. Just your standard automatic with nothing too special. It even has hand crank windows. My parents' first car had hand crank windows. I used to play with them a lot as a kid. They are way more fun than just pressing down on the button. Why am I not surprised? I'm just saying, I appreciate the little bits of effort to feel a breeze while in the car. Can we check out the inside? It's locked, so no can do. Can we break the windows and unlock it from the inside? You can't be serious. You can't damage a classic. I have half a mind to arrest you just for suggesting that. Arrest? I was only joking. Note to self, don't mess with gearheads. I'll write this down. Miss Collins, we have finished with our meeting. Send our guest to the president's office. Right away, sir. Good news, everyone. Mr. Eubank is ready to meet you two. When you two are ready, you can head up to the president's office. Wow, I wish our police station could connect that easily. Here at Eubank Investments, we pride ourselves in our fast-paced communication. When the CEO calls, I'm here to answer. You just heard Mr. Eubank's voice over the speaker. We can head up when you are ready. Interesting. Means she could have recorded that voice memo for some reason from up here. I'm glad you see it my way. Oh, it seems we have guests. Hello again, welcome to my new office. He clearly is taking no time in moving in. Mr. Eubank, we have some questions we would like to ask you. I'm sorry, but I can't answer them here. I have to head home. Something urgent has come up. If you must ask, come visit me there. Oh, and I suggest we don't talk with the police. We had best not get involved with their investigation. Now, my boy, as our new president of Eubank Investments, you'll represent the company. The sooner we answer their questions, the sooner they can be on their way. Take it from me, they won't take no for an answer. You're right. As president, I should leave them with a good impression. Too late, bud. Good day, detectives. Now, if you don't mind, can you tell us where you were on the night of Mr. Chambers' death? Very well. I was at Eubank Investments the night of Anton's death, but I never saw him. I never went anywhere near Anton's office. I left this building around 10 p.m. and went straight home. I didn't see anyone, including Anton. I wasn't even aware he died until I arrived at the office yesterday. Was there anyone else at the office that night? As an executive assistant, I was too busy to notice anyone else. And what were you doing there on a Sunday night? That information is strictly for company executives only. Yeah, he's hiding something. Thanks for your cooperation. We have some follow-up questions. Very well, but as the new president, I have a very busy schedule. Time is money, and my time is very valuable. New mission, waste this selfish jerk's time. Mr. Chambers left behind a lot of books. More books than he could ever read. Now that it's my office, I'm making some changes. So what are you going to do with these books? The Chambers family is taking them back. Most of them are boring business books, or something silly like Solar Wars: Rise of the Space Bears. I haven't read it, but maybe it's a good book. If he had time to read, he had time to run a company. Maybe he read to relax. Relaxing is for retirement. I didn't get to where I am by relaxing while working. I got here with hard work and forward thinking. Excuse me? My Spotify window just popped up in front of my game for some reason. That was insane. Why did that happen? Not wasting time with silly books. I'm glad he's not my boss. I bet he would regulate my bathroom breaks. It's a very fancy-looking chair. Anton had great taste in chairs. I'm sure he would want me to take good care of it. When you want to give this back to his family, why should they get it? They didn't work for it. I like to think of it as a small reward for my years of service. The president of Eubank Investments deserves nothing less than the best. What a greedy little man. So many numbers on this board. Get your eyes off the chalkboard. This information is strictly for company executives. Oh, come on. It's just a bunch of numbers and letters. Those numbers and letters are very hard to this company. Not that someone like you would understand. We are planning a bright future for Eubank Investments, one that doesn't depend on the past. How exciting. Looks like you took Mr. Chambers' role quite nicely. Our former president was a great man, but he thought Azure City was the center of the world. Such a powerful man with such a small view only limited the growth of this company. But now that he's gone, I'm going to clean up his mess. We are going to throw out his old ways and go into new territory. What do you mean by new territory? One day you will find out. Let's just say that Mr. Eubank and I are on the same page. Once I became president, he gave me the necessary tools to help him out. By the time I left my new office, I knew my duties as president of Eubank Investments. Perhaps someday this will be the Eubank Ledger Investments. If he's gonna gloat so much, I might as well write it down. It's my second time up here, and the city looks just as impressive. It's certainly a sight to behold. It's a sight few others could ever see. Detective Swift, what do you see from up here? I think a lot of good people and a few others who would take advantage of them. But it's a city worth surfing. And what about you, Detective Smith? What do you see from up here? You mean me? A city more complex than I can imagine. It looks so simple from above, but when you get down there, it can be overwhelming. But bear detectives, you two are quite different. That's why we're a team. What about you? What do you see? I see a city where anyone can succeed with enough effort and the right mindset. It's a city that Eubank's always dreamed of, a city where everyone can have a bright future. And what of the homeless people on the streets? How do they fit into this bright future? Just because anyone can succeed doesn't mean everyone will. People like me just have the ability to do it. You succeeded because the president was murdered. Get off your high horse. So, how does it feel to be president? I admit, if you told me 10 years ago I would take the role of president of this very company, I wouldn't have believed you. 10 years ago. That's when they started work in the Sunrise District. That's right. It's where I lived for most of my life. I was in high school at the time, and within a year from when they started, we were forced to move out. Forced out? Our apartment landlord kept trying to raise rent, trying to get higher paying tenants. Rent control stopped them from outright kicking us out. What happened? The lowest renters were offered buyouts, and when some said no, the landlord pulled underhanded tricks to make them leave. When it came to us, we just took the money and left. We weren't going to fight a losing battle. Must have been awful to leave. You grew up there. Sure, but it taught me a lesson that day. Blue-collar workers like my parents never get paid enough. So I took business management classes in college and started working my way up the food chain. When I saw an opening here a few years ago, I jumped on it and got the job as an administrative assistant. Still, I'm surprised you took the role. It was Eubank Investments that led you to leaving. It's small-minded to blame the company. The city paid them, and now the city has a thriving shopping district. But your family had to move out. Don't you hate that? Eubank Investments is the reason the Smith family had a store. Would you have taken that away just for people like me? That's not a fair question. They could have built the shopping district without forcing your family out. Even if the law forced the landlord to let us stay, my family could never afford it. He did us a favor and made us leave. In a way, I respect him. He only did what he had to do. It wasn't personal, just business. And look where I am now. I suppose everyone won. I hope the other renters were able to find new homes. Detective, we should test this room for blood. Forensics is planning to look over the whole building later, but I got the means to check one room. Do you mind if we test the room now, Mr. Ledger? By all means, we have nothing to hide. No blood, but there is something else. Powell and Forensics let me borrow this nifty device that can be used to detect the materials of gunpowder. I found some, but it's in a strange shape. Strange how? It spreads across the whole floor, except in this rectangle area. If I recall, there was a rug here. So someone fired a gun and the rug was removed afterwards. Then that's proof. He was shot here. Don't be so quick to judge. The detective just said there was no blood. If he had been shot here, he would have been bleeding as well. He's right. This device isn't enough to conclude he was shot here. Because it couldn't be that easy. Let's write that down. Mr. Ledger, will we be able to check Anton's office phone? Why would you want to do that? This type of phone logs the last couple calls. We might get a clue about when these phones were last used. Of course, just make it quick. We wouldn't want to waste time. Seems this phone was used on Sunday night from around 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. That means he did come back to make a phone call. I think you are jumping the gun, young lady. How do you know it was him? Who else would it be? Someone could have come in here and used it instead of him. He's right. It wouldn't be impossible to prove. It would be impossible to prove. For now, let's write it down. All right, we're done with you, I think. May 2nd, House Foyer. Hello, anyone here? Hey, it's the detective ladies. I didn't expect you two to be here. I came to visit your husband. He couldn't stay in the office. We couldn't get a babysitter for Phi, and I have to head to the station to finish some business. Today's a holiday, so no school. Oh, right, it is. Crap, was it a famous person's birthday? I can't remember. Now, excuse me, I have to go. Phi, dear, your father is busy with work, so be a good girl until I get back. Yes, Mom. Maybe Phi can help us. We are on a super important case. Do you think you can help us out? Sure, for some cash. You want money again? Without Chandra, I have to clean my own room. So I'm going to save up enough to get my own Chandra. Credit where it's due, at least she has goals. Phi, this case involves your mom and dad. We want to help them. Isn't that enough? Okay. Thank you. Can you tell us where your parents were 2 nights ago? Sure thing. I was playing with Toasty when I saw my dad leave at 7. Toasty and I stayed home with Mom until he got back. He got home around 9 p.m. but barely spoke to us. They might have had what my teachers called a fight. You know what they were fighting about? I was scared, so I hid when they started yelling. I'm sure she just needed some alone time. A fight, huh? Must have been serious if both sides kept it hidden. We can stay and talk, but we don't want Mr. Eubank to wait too long. The Plantatic brothers are looking much better since we were last here. Mom has been taking extra care of them lately. They do have a bright forest green color to them, perfect for indoor plants. You can tell based on the color of green? Of course I can. I used to study plants for still art. Any seasoned artist can tell the difference between emerald and forest green. And the type of green a plant tells you everything you need to go. Ooh, tell us more. What about purple plants? I have to get back to you on that. My teachers were right. I should have studied more than just green. These are some nice paintings. I guess so, but they are so boring. TV is much more exciting. TV can be exciting, but a fixed image has a beauty to it that gets lost with movement. A single image perfectly set to convey a single emotion. The artist has only one chance to express their feelings to those they will never see. That is the true beauty of these paintings. It's a wonderful choice of words. We don't get it. Kids and cats these days have no appreciation for art. Such a large window. This is Toasty's favorite room. He likes to sunbathe. Toasty is a lazy cat. Cats are not lazy, they just know how to make every day count. A wise man once said, make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. That's Toasty every day. Wish I could be a cat. No job, no bills. Why couldn't I have been born a cat? Fi, did your parents tell you what happened to Anton Chambers? Oh yeah, Mr. Beard. He would come over to our house sometimes. Mr. Beard is quite the name. He has a big poofy beard. But he doesn't like Toasty, so I don't like him. Meow. Oh, then forget what I said. It's likely best I don't tell her he died. So, what's new, Toasty? Meow. Toasty says he's been busy balancing playtime with nap time. Not enough hours in the day. Must be a busy cat. Shouldn't tell them I'm more of a dog girl myself. At least dogs do things. Vi, do you recognize this toy? That's Toasty's. I mean, it looks like Toasty's toy. It was found on the night you said you were at home. My theory is Toasty was there that night, and if Toasty was there, you were there. It's, the burden of proof falls on the accuser. Where'd you learn that? Mom taught me. Of course the lawyer mother would teach her. She's right, we have to prove it. Suppose we just need to ask Ferris, she would know. You can't! Mom was in her room the whole night, she didn't see me. When she's sad, she hides away. She didn't see me until this morning. Besides, I can't even leave my house. I had no way of getting there from here. I have a perfect alibi. Ferris hiding when she said she's sad is exactly what happened in the alleyway. But let's start from the beginning. Owen's car with a trunk release. It's possible she could have gotten there in Owen's car. She isn't able to drive it herself. It would be better to prove who drove it than save this evidence for later. Car trunk, that's not helpful. It's 23. Ledger said he doesn't say anything about. Okay, I don't think I have anything yet. Now let's go upstairs. Let's talk to Owen. May 2nd, Owen's office. Mr. Eubank, we arrived, just like you asked. Mr. Eubank? Oh, it's you two. Sorry, I was just thinking to myself. Is everything alright? You seem different. Of course not. Anton was my friend. He just passed away and I'm expected to be alright. I'm sorry. Mr. Eubank, please calm down. My apologies. That was rude of me. Everything is just happening so fast. I don't know what came over me. I forgive you. I was being insensitive. I'm sure his soul is resting and he will be reborn soon. Anton didn't know the meaning of rest. I bet his soul is kicking up a storm from resting too much. I understand this is a tough time for you, but we would like to ask you some questions. I would prefer not to. When I last spoke with Anton, I didn't know it would be the last. The wound is still too fresh. I know it's hard, but the two of us just want to find out what happened. If it helps, you can keep it simple. All right, here's what happened that night. Around 7 p.m. on the night of Anton's death, I drove to the office to get some work done. I parked the car in the garage and went into Anton's office. Anton and I spoke, but we got into an argument over where to take the company. I left shortly afterwards. Before you ask, I don't have an alibi for being at the office. I didn't see anyone else. So if we did say to keep it simple, not having an alibi doesn't do you any favors. Was there no one else inside the building at the time? It was a Sunday night. We don't have anyone working weekend shifts. What about Joy and Lowell? They were all inside. We like having one receptionist on standby in case something happens. Joy enthusiastically volunteers for those shifts. Geez, I wonder why. As for Lowell, that I wouldn't know. You would have to ask him. Oh yes, can't wait for him to tell us that information's strictly for company executives or some other crap. Thank you for letting us know. Do you know what time you two had your argument? No, I don't tend to check the time during an argument. Yeah, I wouldn't as well. What now, Detective? Not exactly a lot to go on. I have a few follow-up questions if Mr. Eubank doesn't mind. As long as they are reasonable, I have nothing to hide. What's in here? Golf Lessons 101. I see you found my old golf book. I bought that years ago. A perfect way to start learning the sport. You learned from this book? Indeed. I started learning just to connect with fellow businessmen. The best way to make connections is on the golf course, so I took up the sport, not expecting much. Turns out it was fun, and winning a few tournaments certainly gets your name around. I'm no sports type, but it doesn't just seem fun to me. It just doesn't seem fun to me. Just hit the ball and move on. I thought the same way, but golf is about timing, patience, and planning. There's nothing quite like it. The book is clearly worn, like it's about to fall apart. What's down here? Melody the Thief. It's a classic mystery novel. The main character, Melody, is an antisocial lockpicking thief with an extra sense no one else has. This allows her to solve cases no one else can. What kind of power is that? That's the mystery. Telling you would spoil it. You should read it, since you and the other detective love a good mystery. Honestly, I don't have much of an interest in mystery novels. I just hate when others lie. I just want people to be honest with each other. Is that so hard? Melody once said the same thing in that very book. By the end, she learned a very important lesson. It's not about who's lying or telling the truth. It's about the people you trust. Honesty is only as useful as the trust one puts in the person. Maybe I should read that book. Now I'm invested. What's on here? The Trickster Ghost. Stop snooping around! Sorry. I've never heard of this game before. Went a bit under the radar on release, but it's a modern classic. When did it come out? Let me think. I think right before Phi was born. No wonder I hadn't heard of it. It must have been 12 at the time. I hadn't really followed video games. You were only a little older than Phi is now. Where has the time gone? I suppose I'm no longer the spring chicken I once was. A young Owen Eubank. It's almost hard to believe he didn't always look this way. This lamp blends in too much with the room. What do you mean? Everything in this room has a dark and muted color scheme. Your suit stands out way more than anything else in this room. Excuse me, this is my office. I'm supposed to stand out more. But don't you think a brighter colored lamp would just pop? You sound like my wife. She wanted to repaint the whole room yellow and white. A proper office needs to reflect its owner's soul, and I think this lamp is the perfect color for it. I suppose so. Does my bedroom reflect my soul? Maybe I should redecorate it. My condolences. I didn't know the last time you saw Mr. Chambers was unpleasant. Thank you, Detective. It's not the first time the two of us have fought. It just so happened to be the last. We had very different ways of running the company, but we always made it work in the end. If I can offer some advice, always tell your friends and family how much they mean to you. Tomorrow isn't promised. Once they are gone, they are never coming back. I only wish I could have learned this before he passed away. I'll take your advice to heart. I should call my parents and Jean after work. You and Anton must have been close. How can we not be? We worked together for over 10 years. Back when we started this company, we both knew the Sunrise District was a disappointing part of the city. We turned the stain of Azure City into a flourishing flower to truly live up to the Sunrise name. That was just the first of many examples of us working as a team. But what about his friends, doing things that didn't involve Eubank Investments? Yeah, friendship and our business won't go hand in hand. You can't talk about one without the other. If we saw each other more, we might get sick of each other. Dusty and I hang out outside of work. We haven't got sick of each other yet. The only time I ever get sick around Sophie is when she's driving her motorcycle. Don't you think staying of Azure City is rather harsh? What about the people that lived there before? The poverty rate of the Sunrise District was around 20% before we started. Now the poverty rate is around 7%. We raised 13% of the population out of poverty. You know, Lowell was from that area. His family was forced to leave because his landlord raised the rent. Perhaps that 13% were simply forced to move, lowering the property rate by removing all the people in poverty. I was aware of Lowell's story, but look at him now. That move only made him stronger. The same could be said about many others. That sounds more like wishful thinking. I was surprised Lowell was promoted to president. I thought he was just an assistant. Anton's death was hard on all of us. Lowell was willing to step up to fill the role, so I let him take it. That's still a big promotion. Wouldn't someone better qualified be better to take it? It's only temporary, just until I resolve some personal matters. Personal matters. None of which I want to talk about. I understand and will not press any further. How's Ferris doing? The last couple of days have been so busy, we hardly have time to speak. She's trying her best to hold it together. You should talk to her. She must be so worried about you. I can't right now. There's an important matter I have to deal with first. More important than your wife? Nothing is more important than my family, which is why I must take care of this matter first. He's clearly hiding something from us, but he just lost a dear friend. It's best I don't push him. Alright, I believe I now have the means to grill you. There was a direct line between your home and the office. Your dad drove directly to the office. You could have caught a ride there. No, I didn't. Toasty can back me up. Meow. Exactly. You tell them, Toasty. Can you or Toaster clarify what you mean? Sure. Dad would never let me ride with him to the office. If he saw me, he would have brought me back home. There's nowhere to hide in his car. His office is boring anyway. I wouldn't want to go there. So Eubank never did talk about Phi. Was he hiding Phi from us, or did Phi get there on her own? There is a way you could have gotten to the office in his car. You must have hidden in the trunk of the car. If you were hiding there, you could have gotten there without him noticing. But how would I get out? I would be locked inside. There is a safety lock inside the trunk designed to allow anyone to escape. You could exit the car at the garage and leave the trunk open. That way, you could go back inside the trunk when your dad was leaving the office. Alright, you got me. I was hiding in the trunk. This kid is way too good at hiding. Phi, why were you in the trunk? We went into the garage behind the house to hide. We were playing when I heard my dad coming, so I jumped into the trunk hoping he wouldn't spot me. Why did you hide? He doesn't like it when I'm in the garage because he says it's too dangerous. But it was the only place I could get away from the yelling. When I heard him walking, I hid inside the trunk thinking he would go away. Then I heard the car turn on. That's how I ended up there. Can you tell us what happened while you were there? Promise not to tell my parents? I pinky promise. When the car parked, I waited until my dad left. When the coast was clear, I got out. So what did you do once he left? I got out and played with Toasty. The garage was boring, so I went to the second floor. While there, I heard people talking downstairs, but I ignored it. Then there was a loud sound, and Toasty got scared and ran off. He ran all the way to the lobby, and I had to get him out. That explains how his toy got there. Can you tell us what the sound was like? Like those cop shows when the police start shooting the bad guys. That sound must have been a gunshot. I bet money on it. Phi, do you remember what time it happened? I'm sorry, I was so busy getting Toasty I didn't check. It's alright. Did you happen to see anyone there? Toasty and I didn't see anyone. So Joy wasn't there when you showed up. That timing is uncanny. That's too much speculation for my liking, but it's a lead. The last question. Did you hear only one shot? Yeah, if there was another, Toasty would have run off again. Strange. Why'd you hear only one shot when there were clearly two? I'll write it down. Okay. We know how you got to the building, but how'd you get back home? I saw my dad heading back to the garage, so I ran back to the car before him. I hopped into the trunk and he drove back. Was there anything unusual before your dad drove back? I heard my dad talking to someone. Did you see who it was? First rule of hide and seek, never risk being spotted. I kept my head down. Could you hear what they were saying? I couldn't. I could only recognize my dad's voice. Better update Fi's statement. Thanks, Fi and Toasty. You helped us plenty. But please stop hiding stuff from us. You're making our job harder. I promise I'll stop, as long as you have enough money. Someone teach this kid you can't extort the police. Alright, so what does that tell us? Did anyone claim to be... So the trunk is nothing. 6:23 p.m. Stay on the first floor the whole night. Okay, so I think that one's the next one that doesn't add up then. So let's go back to the lobby. Stay on the first floor the whole night. As far as I know, he didn't return. You super didn't, because there was a fucking kid with her cat there at 7. Nothing's relevant here. For the whole night. I told us that she didn't see Joy at her desk. Joy didn't say that she hadn't left her desk. She could have been on a bathroom break. Besides, we only have Fi's word on that. I better get more facts first. Okay. Okay, so not you then. Who is the next person we have to grill? I have no leads. Interesting. So at this point, it is just statements I have to counter. Yesterday morning. I don't actually know where to go. Let's try the president's office. See if we can grill you about anything. Never went anywhere near Anton's office. Left this building around 10. When I went straight home, I didn't see anyone, including Anton. That checks, because Joy would have been gone by then since her shift was done at 8. Wasn't where he died until I arrived in the office yesterday. I don't think I can dispute anything he's saying. I don't think I have anything for you. Just had to go. Blue water patrol officers kept trying with delays, kept getting shut down. Around 7, I had my fun watching them and left the bar. He left around 7, huh? I don't think I have anything that disproves that. I don't trust that receptionist one bit. She's way too happy. It makes me uncomfortable. She's got to be hiding something. What gives you that idea? There's no way anyone could work customer service and not be dead on the inside. I should know. I had to do it once in my life. Just because you hated working customer service doesn't mean she does. Red is right. Some people just have different mindsets. I don't believe it. Maybe I'm biased, but no one loves customer service. Huh. I don't think I have anything for him either. To the office to get some work done. Parked in the garage and went into the Anton's office. Anton and I spoke. Wait a minute. Fucking Anton left at 6:23. Are you sure? If he left at 6:23 p.m. and him and Anton talked after 7. Car in the garage and went to Anton's office. I'm dying, folks. Sorry, I just gotta read a little. I'm really not sure where to go with this. The damn mystery. I am both trying to think, but I'm also kind of gonna check the page here to see if there's like a spoiler-free guide somebody's written, because I'm genuinely not sure. Case 5. Okay. Aha, there it is. Yep, okay, so it is him I need to talk to. Don't have an alibi, didn't see anyone else, but Fi said you did. Mr. Eubank, we have a witness who stated that you were in the parking garage talking to someone. Why didn't you bring them up? Well, Hold on, who is this witness? I better not let him know his own daughter ratted him out. That information is highly classified police information. You expect me to believe that? Then tell me, who did I speak to? Based on our evidence, is there anyone he could have spoken to? Here's who you spoke to that night. If Anton was already gone by then... That'd have been Lowell, I guess, right? Lowell's the only person in the building whose movements we don't know yet. He's the only option. Lowell was the person, which makes it even stranger that you or him didn't say anything. Well, it was such a minor thing, it was hardly worth bringing up. Then what were you two talking about? And why should I tell you about my private conversation? You said you had nothing to hide. If you must know, go ask him yourself. I have nothing else to say. In that case, we will go see him. Thank you for your help. I'm starting to think Mr. Eubank hates just giving a straight answer. We can't push him if he doesn't want to talk. Unless you want to try to drag him to the station. No thanks. Didn't exactly end well when Detective Hunt tried it. I do think he's right. We should go ask Lowell himself. For now, let's update his statement. Alright, fuckboy. Wrong. Lowell, Mr. Eubank told us that he spoke to you inside the parking garage on Sunday. What were you two talking about? Did he now? Why would he tell you about that? We know how to make him talk. It's simple, really. We were talking about the future of Eubank Investments. But such information is strictly confidential. There's your answer. I have already wasted enough time helping you two. I must get back to work. I won't let him shut us out of this. Better find an opening. Sorry, Lowell, but we can't accept that. What did you really talk about? You dare question me? I won't stand for such slander. Prove it. If you can't, then get out of my office. No backing out now. Then I will. Here's why you wouldn't be speaking to Mr. Eubank about the future of the company. It's because Anton wasn't dead yet? Mr. Eubank only started planning with you once you became president, but that was only yesterday. On Sunday night, you were just a glorified secretary. Seems you two won't leave empty-handed. You really want to know what we talked about? I have a bad feeling about this. I was speaking to him about Detective Hunt's visit. Visit? What are you talking about? Everyone knows perjury isn't real. That's a lie. You've perjured. Oh dear, did he not tell you? He was here Sunday night to see Anton himself. He was here? He didn't tell us. Oh yes, I called Detective Hunt myself. It seems our late president wanted to talk with him before meeting him the next day. In fact, I'm pretty sure Detective Hunt was the last person to see him. Where's your proof? He would have told us if he had been here. Here's my phone. It shows I called him that night. It's Red's phone number. It also shows he called Anton a little after 7, which would be after his talk with Mr. Newbuck. Wait a moment. That means you knew Anton was here. You lied before. I said I never saw him, which is true. Why were you two in the garage? I was just grabbing something from my car when I ran into him. I think we have enough to work with. Thank you, Lowell. We will update your statement. Grabbing something from the car is just an excuse. Those two are hiding something. I agree, but if Lowell's honest about Red, that means he was the last person to see Anton before he died. Which means Red is our prime suspect. But he wouldn't kill anyone. We can't suspect him. That's why we should talk with him now, figure out what happened. He should be at the station. Let's head there. Did you put up a fucking note when I wasn't looking? Okay, no, I guess that's been there. Alright, bitch. Wrong. Detective, what you're saying isn't true. You didn't go home. We spoke with Lowell, and he said he called you to come to Eubank Investments. And more importantly, you spoke with Anton that night. I suppose this was always going to come up. But I swear, if I thought it was tied to this case, I would have told you to. Ernest, this is serious. Right now, you were the last person to have seen Anton alive. Meaning, you are our prime suspect. I expect no less from you, Detective, but I'm no murderer. And what happened that night? Why were you even there? While I was with the boys, I got a call from a man named Lowell Ledger. He told me that Anton Chambers wanted to speak to me. And you agreed? At first I wasn't going to, but then he said he wanted to confess something. After that I agreed. So I left early and I spoke with him. And what did you talk about? I'll let you hear yourself. I got it recorded. Recorded? Let me play it for you two. Hello, Detective. Forgive me for being late. I had other matters to attend to. Let's not beat around the bush. Your assistant said you wanted to confess. If you're really so busy, this can wait until your police interview tomorrow. Yet you still came. Last time someone wanted to confess to me, she was attacked before she had the chance. I'm not letting that happen again, so out with it. I'll get right to it. If I come to the station tomorrow, I'll be sure to walk out a free man. I can get a team of lawyers who drag any case through the mud until you give up. It will be a waste of time for both you and me. So you want to confess now and save me some time? You don't really want me. You want the head honcho, Owen Eubank. I can provide all the evidence you need to get Owen locked up for good. Let me guess, I can get all that in exchange for dropping this case? Those are your words, not mine, but whatever happens next is your choice. I see how it is. You're scared. Scared we will find something on you. People like you are exactly the type to think they can bribe their way out of justice. The Eubanks really are guilty of something. We will find it, with or without your evidence. I see. Perhaps you need some time to think about it. You have until tomorrow. I hope you can change your mind by then. Then we have nothing else to talk about. By the way, if you got something to say, better to have you call me yourself. Once you're behind bars, you won't have to do anyone to do your dirty work. That's a lot to process. Sophie, any ideas? Red, you shouldn't have recorded that. Huh? Why not? Anton was clearly trying to bribe the detective. Justina, do you not know what two-party consent is? Both parties agreeing to something? Yes, but he's referring to the legal term. The law requires two-party consent before anyone makes an electronic recording of a private conversation. Without Anton's approval, what Red did was illegal. But he was only trying to solve this case. There are no bad intentions here. Good or bad, it's still illegal for good reason. Without it, police officers could trick suspects into saying something out of context. That happened? It was part of a court case over 15 years ago, but yes. We are too young to truly know about it. Red, on the other hand. I wasn't intending to use this as evidence, but I needed something as proof of myself, something that can help me get legal evidence. That's why I kept it hidden. I'm sorry, Red, but I have to report this to the lieutenant. Sophie, I don't regret what I did. People like him, they only follow the rules that suit them. At least I'm doing it for the right reasons. As police officers, we have to hold ourselves to the highest standards. If we don't hold ourselves accountable, then we don't deserve our badges. If you will allow it, please wait until you solve this case. I will gladly tell the lieutenant myself afterwards. All right. But if you don't do so after this case, I will tell him myself. So now what? We can't use the recording. True, but Red was still there. As long as we keep out what they talked about, it should be acceptable evidence. This evidence may not be legal, but forget the law. What matters is now you know I didn't do it. Can you tell us anything about what happened when you got there? When I arrived, I met with the receptionist, and she brought me up to Anton's office. She said Mr. Chambers called me earlier, and he was on his way. So then Joy must have known he was returning. I'm going to update Red's statement. Anything else? Nope. He arrived, we talked quickly, and then I left. Lead is still a lead, and we better get back to work. We still have plenty of investigating to do. Alright, now we can hit up, Joy, because she It would be Hunt's statement. Miss Collins, we spoke to Detective Hunt. He told us you escorted him to the president's office the night of his death. That must mean you knew Mr. Chambers was coming back. I misspoke. I must have had the wrong date. But your recording said the date and time. Why did you leave out such an important piece of information? Eubank investment policy states that I can't answer such questions without legal representation. You are within your rights to have one, however we will take you to the station. There we can continue this conversation. After running around the whole of Eubank Investments, we finally had a lead. But did Joy really know all the answers? Was she our culprit this whole time? Detective Hunt had told us what he did. We could have saved a lot of time. May 2nd, Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, viewing room. You alright, Dusty? You seem to have your head in the clouds. When this is over, will Detective Hunt be okay? If he tells the lieutenant he broke the law, what will happen? I'm not so sure, although he might have to take the highest punishment on the force. Highest punishment? Poor Hunt. I don't like it either, but his actions can't be ignored. But we can worry about him later. For now, he got us a lead. Whatever Miss Collins knows, we have to find out. Not so fast. I'm not letting you talk to her without me there. Until proven otherwise, she's innocent in my book. Do you honestly believe she isn't involved in this? I know she's hiding something. You two don't just bring people in for lying about their age. So you just decided to make our job harder? I'm here to make sure you do your job right. She is still an employee of my company. Even if she went all the way and killed Anton, I'm going to make you prove it without room for doubt. And if you get something wrong, I'm going to push back as hard as I can. Sounds like this is going to be a fun time. When we solve this case, we can all get drinks together. You're way too optimistic. But I wouldn't have it any other way. May 2nd, Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, interrogation room. Miss Collins, now that you have an attorney, let's get started. You claimed you were unaware that Anton Chambers returned to his office on the night of his death. However, Detective Ernest Hunt claims you escorted him to Mr. Chambers' office that night. Do you dispute these claims? My client acknowledges that she escorted the detective to see Mr. Chambers that night. However, visiting Mr. Chambers the night before he was scheduled for a police interview is highly unethical. Detective Hunt should have disclosed his visit yesterday when Mr. Chambers' body was found. He thought it was unrelated to this case until you proved Mr. Chambers didn't die in the alleyway. We can dispute Detective Hunt's actions another time. We are here for Miss Collins' actions. Why didn't you tell us that Anton Chambers returned to his office? I was unaware it was important. I depended on my recording so much I misspoke. Oh, please, spare me the weaponized incompetence. Can you tell us more about when you escorted Detective Hunt? Yes, of course. Joy Collins' statement, press 1 for escorting the detective. Lowell had told me a detective was coming and I was to bring him to the president's office. So when he arrived a little before 7, I escorted him to the office. Escorting the detective was the only time I had left my desk or been in the president's office. While on my desk, I didn't see or know of Mr. Chambers' return. When I heard what happened, I thought he had died before ever returning. She never intended to tell us from the beginning. That means she didn't have time to prepare. I better use evidence she had no way of knowing to catch her off guard. Okay, what have I got as far as evidence goes? Wrong. You were not at the desk when Phi was present. Miss Collins, we have an eyewitness who didn't see you at the reception desk. I don't see the problem. They could have shown up when she was escorting the detective. The problem is that doesn't line well up with our witness. Detective Hunt got there right before 7 p.m., but our witness wasn't in the building yet. And go ahead, show us how you know this. Then I will. This is how we know the witness got there after Detective Hunt that night. The cleaning crew was not there and did not clean up, I'm guessing, is probably it. It's not it. I know I have evidence on me. If I was our witness, that proves she would have only arrived after Detective Hunt. Owen's car. I'm actually genuinely not sure. There it is. Our witness saw Mr. Eubank leave his home at the same time that Detective Hunt arrived. Since they were in the car at the time, they couldn't have gotten in there before Joy escorted the detective. Or I guess I should say she wasn't in the car. Excuse me? What was she doing in the building at the time? We can't disclose any details. We pinky promised the witness. Well, Sophie didn't break the pinky promise if I'm the one who told her. And how do we know they were there? Do you have their word? Your client found this cat toy earlier. Do you recognize it? Unfortunately, yes. Seems the witness has a lot of explaining to do later. Back to the main point, our witnesses were only in the lobby because they heard a loud sound. The exact words were, like those cop shows when the police start shooting the bad guys. When this is over, those two are grounded for life. Poor Fi. Can you even ground a cat? I do believe your witness was mistaken. I heard a sound, but it wasn't a gunshot. It was a loud noise from outside. I simply left my desk to check what it was. So your witness must have simply been wrong. As the front desk receptionist, it's her responsibility to check if anything's out of place. Did you find out what it was? Sorry, but I couldn't find it. I still don't know what it was. Then tell us more about this loud noise. Press 2 for a loud sound. I was at the reception desk when I heard a loud noise. I went around the lobby to find out where it came from. The only conclusion I could find was that it came from outside. The inside was perfectly normal. I checked the whole area. There was nowhere in the building a gun could be fired. After I finished, I returned to my desk and resumed my work. I disagree because there's fucking gunpowder. What's the context here so far? We're going through most of it. A guy was killed. We found his body in an alley, but it seems he was shot somewhere else. This gunpowder seems to just suggest that he might have been shot in his office, but there was no blood in there, and the rug that had there was a rug-shaped imprint in where the gunpowder was that is clean. So it's possible that the blood is on the rug. But we don't know where the rug is. There is only one area during our whole investigation where we were able to prove a gun was fired. The president's office. I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. Are you saying the gunshot was from the 6th floor? Exactly. And where was your witness when she heard that sound? The 2nd floor. And she said it came from the lobby below them. Yes. Do you have any idea how ridiculous that sounds? It makes no sense. You wanted the source of the gunshot, and I gave you one. I documented our witness's response. Take a look. Putting aside what your witness said, there's a flaw with this theory of yours. Sounds like another rebuttal is coming. Allow me to explain. I'm betting that she heard it over the loudspeaker from the phone, because the phone was in use between 7 and 8. Rebuttal. Press 3 for gunpowder in the room. While it does say that gunpowder from a discharged gun was found, it never says when. Anton Chambers carried his gun with him everywhere. He could have fired his gun any day before the day of his death, and gunpowder would have been picked up. I know that blanks also require the same powder without wasting a bullet. You can't prove the gunpowder came from Brutus and not from a different gun. When you put it like that, what I said was kind of dumb. Don't give up now. Believe in your theory. That gunpowder didn't just show up out of nowhere. It must have been there the last few days. Think about why it would be there and not removed. Oh, because there was no cleaning crew. The gunpowder wasn't from the night before his death. The cleaning crew finished cleaning the building at 5 p.m. before Mr. Chambers returned that night. But your husband hasn't had them come back since that night. So that gunpowder could only have been there that night. Miss Collins, do you know why he hasn't gotten them back? Mr. Eubank didn't specify, but I'm sure he has his reasons. Perhaps he simply wanted to give the staff a much-needed break. I see. I'll ask him about it later. Then it seems we have to address the real question. How could both my client and the witness hear a sound from the 6th floor? And most importantly, why would they hear it from the 1st floor? Shoot, I need an answer. Miss Collins, do you still claim that the sound you heard was not a gunshot? All I can confirm is that I heard a loud sound. And as the wonderful Mrs. Eubanks has said, it's impossible anyway. We trust our witnesses, so it is possible. She's right, I can't just give up on my theory. I better look over the evidence again. This evidence shows how a loud sound can appear in the lobby from the president's office, the reception desk phone. Miss Collins, there is a place for the sound to come from. The phone for the reception desk has speaker functions. If the speakers were on, it would play the gunshot from the president's office. But that doesn't make sense. How could the sound of a gunshot appear at the reception desk phone? The reception desk phone is not always connected to the president's office. She's right, you need to show how that would be possible. That means we need evidence that shows why the speaker played the gunshot. Must be something from the president's office that will be enough. Here's the evidence that shows how the sound was heard from the president's office. The president's office phone could have been connected to the reception desk phone. We know he had a phone call from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. that night. As long as the shot happened during that phone call, the speaker would play the gunshot. And answer this. Why was it connected? Are you saying he was shot during a phone call? Not necessarily. All that matters is that both phones were on. Let me think. Of everyone we know who's in the building, who turned on the president's office phone? A ghost! No, Ernest had his own recording, so he wouldn't have needed to make a second one. I don't think Joy did it. Anton? Anton Chambers is the only logical choice. It was his office. But the phone call started at 7 p.m., and we know he was at the store until that time. There's no way he could have done it. Good point. I'll try someone else. Everyone, I know what happened. There's only one answer, a terrifying answer that will shake the very foundation of this case. Eubank Investments is haunted by a ghost. We must exorcise the building before it does something worse. Justy, please tell me you're joking. Oh, yes, I am. It was just some lighthearted fun. Maybe ghosts are not the answer. Let me try again. I got an achievement for that. A ghost's trick, even. Must have been Owen then, I guess. Home Eubank did visit the office that night. He could have done it. But the phone call started at 7. We know he left his home around that time. There's no way he could have done it. I guess it must have been Joy? Joy Collins, there's no way you wouldn't notice the reception desk phone being on. That's what that noise was. I got scared. So you would have wanted it to be on, which means you turned on Anton's phone to eavesdrop on the detective's conversation. Are you accusing my witness of lying to us the whole time? I trust Justina's logic, so yes, Miss Collins is actively withholding information from us. I think you are missing something important. Let's see you counter my next point. Rebuttal, please stay on the line for calling phones. My client works only at the front desk. She can manually connect to the president's office phone to the reception desk, but only from the office. Yet she remained on the first floor the whole time. She has no power to do it from her desk. Thanks for the encouragement, but it seems we are at a crossroads again. We can't turn on a phone by accident, so we need to think of when. If we have a when, we will know. When we have a when, we will know how. We should think over all the evidence again. What would she want to hide from us? She has no power to do it from her desk. I guess we could dispute that. What would it be? Though. Huh. You know, I haven't done any of the questions yet. Is there any reason to go up to the 6th floor? None whatsoever. How could I give the world-famous Eubank Investments welcome from the 6th floor? Oh, never mind. We can move on. There's no way to remotely connect the two phones? Eubank Investments has 5 stars in private security for our employees. It would be completely unethical if our phones could. 5 stars from Entrepreneur Magazine isn't just for show. You are free to look onto our phones, but you won't find anything. Thanks for the offer, but we will stick to our already collected evidence. We already know she was away from her desk when her witness was in the lobby, so that's simply not true. But that was after the bullet sound was heard. She would have needed to activate the phone in the office before that shot. You would need to prove that she did it before the gunshot happened. She's right, it's not just her being away from her desk, it's about when it happened. Was she away from her desk at a different time? Okay, she's so... Huh. Oh, good. Oh. Okay. Why?
I don't know, I was just scrolling for my YouTube thing. I see Bruce Hold a Trinity show. So I'm like, ah! The house like carpet is real!
It's real.
And then I went and listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out under the house like carpet.
Let's see. I forgot what I'm even trying to prove. She remained on the first floor the whole time. Well, clearly she did not. So, what proves that she did not? Oh my god, was she joyriding Anton's fucking car? I have no fucking idea. The president's office phone to the reception desk, but only from the office. I think that's true. She remained on the first floor the entire time. Well, I mean, she didn't. There was one point when Miss Collins was in the president's office, when she escorted Detective Hunt up there. Yes, I was being a nice host and escorted him, but I never went to the phone. We can ask Detective Hunt if he remembers. The key word is if. It's her word against the detectives. How do I prove that? It's not like there are footprints we can use. Detective, what do we do? There is one thing that is bothering me. This whole theory is built on proof that a gunshot was played from the reception desk phone. Then why was the speaker on? If Miss Collins really did connect the president's office phone to the reception desk, she did it on purpose. Meaning she would have wanted to overhear the conversation with Detective Hunt. She could have just placed it next to her ears like most people. My, detective, it seems you are poking a hole in your own case. Have you given up already? Quite the opposite. This is a new way to prove Justina's theory. How am I supposed to know why the speaker was on? Look over all the evidence we collected. Ask yourself, why did she choose to do it? Once we prove that, this mystery is as good as solved. I need to think long and hard about this. Why would she have to keep it on a speaker? The reason she had the phone on speaker is... Nope. Sorry, that's not gonna work. She kept the phone on speaker for a reason. If I had to guess, it's because she couldn't put the phone to her head. Couldn't put the phone to her head, but why? Couldn't put the phone to her head. Why? What the fuck are you talking about? What? Couldn't put the phone to her head. But for why, though? Joy told us she records events on her phone. If she wanted to record the conversation between Detective Hunt and Mr. Chambers, keeping the phone to her ear wouldn't work. She would have had the sound played by a speaker with her phone near it to get the best sound. That would mean Miss Collins recorded the whole murder. Miss Collins, will you willingly give your phone as evidence? Mrs. Eubank, you can't let them confiscate my phone. Legally, the law allows them to take it if they get a warrant to access any data on it. However, I would advise you to let them know willingly. No, I can't. Miss Collins, I can't help you if you don't cooperate. Keeping information from law enforcement will only make things worse. If you have the recording of the gunshot on your phone, let us know. All right, you got me. I was recording everything from the president's office. The recording ended when I heard the gunshot. Why didn't you record any more? I think the phone on the desk was hit after the gunshot and it turned off. That's when I went upstairs. Let's save the phone recording for later. Why were you doing it in the first place? I was doing so to help Anton Chambers' ex-wife. She wanted me to get dirt on him. Sounds exactly like her. To clarify, she's the one Anton is divorcing, right? Yes, her name is Vivica. In order to get complete custody of their son, Vivica needed to present evidence he was unfit. She told me last week that she would pay me if I could get evidence for her. It's also why I was recording Miss Chambers' movements that day. That explains why she had that recording for her statement. I get that Vivica needed that, but why did you do it? How much money could she possibly offer? Mrs. Eubank, do you know what the minimum wage is in Azure City? 18 ohms an hour. Do you know how much I make? 20. I worked here for 2 years and I barely make more than minimum wage. Vivica offered me a side job that I could do while at work. Did you send this recording to Vivica? I did, but I still have it on my phone. Then we have the million-ohm question. Do you know who killed Anton Chambers? No. When Anton is sitting at his desk, I can usually hear everything. I was able to record everything between Anton and the detective, but after the detective left, someone came in. They were talking in front of the door, and the phone was too low quality to pick up everything they said. If you couldn't hear them, why did you keep listening in? I thought they would move closer to the phone. Sadly, they didn't. Then the gunshot happened, and the phone was knocked off. Did you hear anything else before the gunshot? I heard a sound like something heavy hit a wall, followed by something that crashed to the floor, then the gunshot happened. Hitting a wall, then something crashing. Sounds like a struggle. Miss Collins, do you know what two-party consent is? Yes, that's why I tried to hide the gunshot. And during said struggle, was anyone talking? No, it was just the sounds, as I said. Then you know that we have to charge you for illegally recording 2 conversations. We also need to confiscate those recordings from your phone. We can keep only the struggle part and dispose of the rest. But whatever she recorded could help us find the culprit. Why only keep the ending part? Mrs. Eubank, if your client was found guilty in court because of this recording, what would you do? Any lawyer would demand a mistrial. Miss Collins' illegal act makes anything said on the recording fruit of the poisonous tree. But legally, there is a loophole. Recordings of conversations are illegal, but other recorded sounds are perfectly acceptable. Meaning we can keep the struggle and dispose of everything else from the recording. I'll update the evidence from the president's office. Miss Collins, can you tell us what happened when you went upstairs? When I heard the gunshot, I thought Mr. Chambers killed someone. So I took the stairs and sneaked my way to the 6th floor. That explains why our witness didn't see you in the lobby. Why did you take the stairs? If I took the elevator, they might see me. It was easier to sneak in by stairs, even if it took longer. When I got there, I didn't see anyone, but people weren't the only thing missing. Both the rug and the clock on the wall were missing. They were there when I came up with Detective Hunt. Joy, do you know who removed them? I don't know about the clock, but I do know about the rug. It was Lowell. When I was looking around, I heard the elevator arrive at the floor. I ran to see what it was, and I saw Lowell carrying one end of the rug. It looked like someone was on the other end carrying the rug, but the door was closed just enough that I couldn't see who. What time did this happen? 8:25 p.m. Sunday night. I wanted to be there sooner, but climbing 6 flights of the stairs in heels took the wind out of me. I wanted to follow Lowell, but I didn't know where in the building he went. I thought he went to the 1st floor, but I couldn't find him. If Lowell took the rug after Mr. Chambers was shot, he must have wanted to dispose of it. Something we couldn't find must have been on the rug. Justy, do you have any ideas? If Anton Chambers was shot in his office, it would make sense that he would be bleeding. Yet, we couldn't find any blood in his office. What if, after getting shot, he fell on the rug? That way, the rug would absorb all the blood and none would get onto the floor. Mrs. Eubank, did you happen to know what the rug is made of? It's a wool rug. Why? Wool rugs are highly absorbent. Justy's theory about the rug absorbing all the blood makes sense. But that isn't proven yet. None of you have found the rug yet, so this is just speculation. Which is why we need to ask ourselves. We need to bring Lowell Ledger here. Mrs. Eubank, would you be able to bring Lowell here? Of course I can. I'll drag him in here myself if I must. But that doesn't mean I believe he's our culprit. Then let's return here once Mr. Ledger arrives. After that, Miss Collins was sent to Miss Earle while Mr. Ledger was brought in. Because Lowell's the president of the company, Mrs. Eubank once again agreed to represent him. May 2nd, Azure City Police Precinct number 5 viewing room. It's like Mrs. Eubank brought our star witness. I didn't think he would be so willing to come. You would think he would resist with every fiber of his eggplant suit. Eubank Investments is co-owned by both Owen and Ferris, so Ferris is technically his boss. She can fire him for not coming in for questioning. To actually even let us bring him in for questioning surprises me. After what happened with Joy, I think even she knows Lowell's involved with this murder. And solving Anton's death matters more than their upstart president. How about you? Have you made any progress on Anton's case? Seems that Anton's bullets were being smuggled in. If I can find the bullets he was smuggling, that would really help us. Got any ideas on where to find them? Nice try, but a detective never reveals their secrets. I'm pretty sure that's just magicians. Au contraire, magicians got it from us. It's a well-known fact. Is that... Oh, never mind. Just let us know if you find the evidence for us. I should have something by the time you're done. Good luck in there. I'm dying. Alright, I need to grab a drink really quick or I'm gonna die. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. You know, I swear I turned on my BRB thing, but it doesn't seem to have activated. Whatever. Lowell Ledger, you have been brought in to answer questions about the night of Anton Chambers' death. A gunshot was heard by a witness that night, and when the witness went there, they saw you. I already told you I was in the building that night. Then I will ask you a simple question. Are you involved with the death of Anton Chambers, including purposefully tampering with evidence? I was not involved with the death of Anton Chambers. May I leave now? What my client means to say is you need something substantial to keep him here. We already have proof that a gunshot from the president's office happened that night. Were you unaware of it? My client has already told the police that he was on the 5th floor the whole night. There is no proof that a gunshot on the 6th floor could be heard on the 5th floor. If I could hear a gunshot from a different floor, but we can't say the same from floor 5 to 6. But our witness saw him heading toward the elevator with a rug. And what does a rug have to do with Mr. Chambers' death? We have reason to believe he died on that rug, and it contains evidence. Is there any proof of that? A previous witness saw you. While they saw you that you had a rug, there is no proof of blood or any indication of murder. They took a picture of the president's office after the murderer, and the rug was missing. Given their testimony, we have reason to believe you were involved. I see. Yes, I was carrying a rug, but you are clearly missing context. Allow me to explain. Dropping off the rug. Mr. Eubank asked me to help him bring the rug to his car. So I went to the president's office with him and we simply took it. After grabbing the rug, Mr. Eubank and I headed to the garage. I simply left the rug in Mr. Eubank's trunk so he could take it home. That is not true. Afterwards, I have no idea what happened to the rug. That's not true because we know that that was left in Anton's car. Right? was in somebody's car, wasn't it? Nope, not yet. Afterwards, I have no idea what happened to the rug. Can't we just get a witness who is completely honest for a change, or at the very least be upfront about lying? He has to be working with what he knows. Perhaps there's something he's missing. Something no one would ever expect. Was Mr. Eubank in the garage when you put it there? Nope, I didn't see him. His car was unlocked, so I just chucked it in. I had to get home, so I wasn't going to wait around. Mrs. Eubank, would your husband leave his car unlocked like that? What my husband would and wouldn't do is unrelated to this conversation. I have no comment. Quite the lawyer's way of saying no. Did you see anyone on your way to the garage? No, I thought the whole building was empty that night. I never knew there was a witness following me. Their witness just saw you in the president's office. They didn't follow you into the garage. I see. Glad I didn't have a stalker that night. If only Joy followed him into the garage, maybe she would have seen something. Did Eubank say he did speak to Lowell? He did say that. But you told us it was about Detective Hunt's visit, not about the rug. That was the primary topic we spoke about. It was only when we finished did he mention needing me to grab the rug. Can't disprove that. Better find evidence that he can't talk his way around. You left the rug in his trunk. I don't think you did. There it is. You didn't because there was a girl in there. Mr. Ledger, we have witness testimony that Mr. Eubank didn't take it. If the rug had been placed in his car, they would have seen it, but they didn't. If Mr. Eubank didn't take it, where did it go? And who is the witness? I demand to know. Mr. Ledger, I can verify the witness and their location. They will be punished greatly for being on Eubank Investments' property without permission. Poor Phi. With that answered, what happened to the rug? If your witness said I'm lying, you tell me. Surely if they didn't see me put it in the car, where would I have put it? Due to that witness's particular location, they were unable to see anything. I can only say that if you had put the rug in the car, they would have known. It's getting really annoying to see you beat around the bush. Keeping this witness's identity hidden is necessary for the future of Eubank Investments. It's a lot of words to tell him to shut up. But it is her daughter. It's kind of sweet she's keeping her identity a secret. Then perhaps I'm misremembering all this. We could have just left it by the car instead. Then someone could have come by and taken it. Nothing I could do about that. If that is all, the president of Eubank Investments is a busy man. You're not leaving yet. Aside from our unnamed witness, there were only 4 people there that night. Since one of them is our victim, the possibility of an unknown party is unlikely. Then where would the rug go? It can't disappear into thin air. Better come up with an answer and fast. Here's the only place Mr. Ledger could have put the rug. This should be all the proof you need. If that doesn't help, Justy, you better try again. Oh, sorry. He would put it somewhere only he would have access to. Oh, I guess he put it in his own car, probably? There were only 3 cars in the garage that night, including his. So he must have placed it in his car. But why lie about which car was used? Because if he put it in his car, that means he drove it somewhere, and we might find evidence inside. Again, nothing but speculation. And speculation is just a waste of time. And I'm sure you won't mind if we investigate your car. We haven't had a chance to look inside. Absolutely not! No one in their right mind would ever allow the police to do such a thing. If you want to search his car, you will need a warrant. I doubt any judge would give you one if you can't prove you will find evidence. The rug would have been removed by then. What now, Detective? Mr. Ledger, when you were in the garage, did you see Anton's car? Yes, it was there. What are you getting at, Detective? If our theory is correct, then Anton must have already died before the rug was removed. The body must have been moved, but to where? Looking over the exits, the only options are the front door and the garage. So that leaves the garage. If Mr. Eubank's car wasn't an option and Anton's car stayed there overnight, I think that leaves only one option. Mr. Ledger's car. Excuse me? Why would he possibly do that? I'm not sure why, but it would explain why he wouldn't want us to check his car. There might be evidence in there. Oh, Detective Swift, quit joking around. Accusing the president of Eubank Investments of tampering with a crime scene isn't funny. The president, who only got there after the former president, died. If you won't let us look, then we will get a warrant. You can only get a warrant if you can prove for certain you will find something. As it stands, I doubt any judge will grant you a warrant. And why is that? If he needed a car, why would he use his own car? Let me explain. Rebuttal, a better car. If Anton's car, this guy loves talking about how he's the president. Yeah, and he's been the president for less than 24 hours because the previous president died. If Anton's car was in the parking garage, Lowell could have grabbed the keys from the body. Afterwards, Lowell could have just driven Anton's car to Nickel and Diamond's Antiques and left the body there. He couldn't have because Anton's car was a stick shift and his is an automatic. After leaving the body of the store, Lowell could have taken a bus or simply walked back to pick up his own car. We know Anton's car only entered the parking lot once, so his car didn't leave the garage. Untrue! Because that car is a stick shift. Before you poke holes in our theories, poke the holes in your own. When we spoke with the mechanic, she told us that Mr. Chambers just drives a custom-built stick shift. Most people wouldn't be able to drive that. That is true. My husband tried driving it once and almost crashed it. But this is nothing but speculation. According to the mechanic, there were dent scratches and a broken taillight before she fixed it up. But I doubt someone who drives their car every day would cause that. My theory is simple. He tried to use Mr. Chambers' car, couldn't drive it, damaged it in the garage, gave up, and then used his own car. And again, speculation on when the car was damaged. You can't prove that the car was damaged that very night. Mr. Ledger, can you drive stick? Because according to our evidence, your car is automatic. If you can, you will need to prove it. I don't need to answer. You'll just use whatever I say against me. Detective, we both know you need something more solid than that. Prove to us that his car was originally used to move the body. Must be something that shows his car was used. Better think fast. Here's proof Anton's car must have been used Sunday night. The wool in the back from the rug. The mechanic told us that they found some clumps of wool in the car. All we have to do is match it to the rug from his office. And how will you know if it matches that rug? It's long gone. We do have the picture of you with the rug. All we have to do is cross-reference it with rugs sold online. If the material matches, then we'll know it's the same rug. You detectives are more clever than I thought. But it's all for naught. After all, there's something important you simply can't explain. Sounds fun. Tell us what it is. I wouldn't even know where to move the body. Finding the alleyway. What happened to Mr. Whoa, okay. What happened to Mr. Chambers that night was completely unexpected. If the plan was dependent on his attacker, then I would need to know that information beforehand. But I had no means to speak to him about it before his death. After all, I was in my office the whole time before I carried the rug out. There's something here. I remember him saying that he didn't even know about the murder, but I don't think I have proof for that. He must have known where Anton was attacked and where to move the body. Our aim is to narrow this case so that we can reliably get a search warrant. If we can prove how he could have known, that should be enough. There's only one way he would know, but how do we prove that? Do we have proof that he called anyone? Something crashed to the floor, then a gunshot. If Anton told you to call Detective Hunt, he could have told you about what happened at the alleyway. I called Detective Hunt long before Anton arrived at the store. Look at the detective's cell phone. I'm sure my call was timestamped there. The time between when Anton was attacked and when he died. That's the only time he could have told Lowell. Okay. What do I have that proves that timeline, though? Huh. I'm not sure. Nope. But Lowell could have just moved the body there without knowing Anton had been attacked. All that was needed was that it was his last location. But the crime scene was clearly set up for whoever tased him. They wanted the police to think he was tased and then shot with his own gun. And it almost worked. So Lowell is right that he would need to know this information beforehand. Nope. I had no means to speak to him about it before his death. That's the part I need to disprove, I think, is that he super did. Nope. Called Anton Chambers around 7 p.m. There it is. I just can't read. We do know you talked to Mr. Chambers. When you showed us your phone call to the detective, I saw you had a call with him that night. Meaning you spoke to Anton after he had left the alleyway. You can't prove that. Even if we did talk, that doesn't mean he told me anything. Lowell, I think that's more than enough reason to request a search warrant. Mrs. Eubank, you're supposed to be on my side. Do something. My job is to protect Eubank Investments at all costs, including from within. I gave you enough of a chance to prove you're innocent. Now your lies are a liability to yourself and my company. Your best bet is to just confess now so we can finally know what happened that night. If they search your car and find proof, it will only make things worse for you. And all because I couldn't clean my car in time. Moving the body is a crime, one we intend to make you pay for. Yet you don't even know who the murderer is. The closest you got is me moving the body. Lowell, are you saying you know who killed Anton? Detective, how about a plea deal? You drop all charges against me and I'll tell you everything I know. What do you have to bargain with? Simple. I know who the culprit is. I even have proof. You expect us to believe that? If you want the truth of the matter, you will accept my terms. You can't just move a whole body and expect us to trade that away. You two are only here because you are out of leads. You need my evidence. Unless you want to keep running around like a pair of headless chickens. You are not nearly hot enough shit enough for that one, buddy. I know, right? If you fulfill your end of the bargain, then I can accept those terms. Detective? Don't worry, Justina. I know what I'm doing. Where is the evidence? Do you take me for a fool? I'm not giving it to you until I sign the official deal. But I suppose I can give you a tease. Owen Eubank was the one who killed Anton Chambers. I know my husband. He would never do such a thing. Believe it or not, it happened. The two of us carried the body down to the elevator to the garage. He offered me the role of president if I helped him clean up his mess. I wasn't going to turn down such a wonderful deal. Until the police ruined everything. That's why I had my backup plan. Keep some evidence on Owen just in case. You are throwing my whole company under the bus just to get out of this. It's nothing personal, just business. Then as legal representative, I will look over any official deal written before he signs. I'm sure you and Sue will have plenty to talk about then. Mr. Ledger, you are to remain here for the time being. Who's the time being? It will take a while to write up the plea deal. If you leave, it will be canceled. Understood. Mrs. Eubank, we will be bringing Owen Eubank in for questioning. I presume you will take up his defense? Naturally, I will request that no questioning can be done until Mr. Ledger's evidence has been fully verified. I agree. Once everything is settled, we will return here later with Mr. Eubank. For now, this interrogation is over. Lowell and Ferris were escorted to the lieutenant's office to wait for his plea deal. We were also granted a search warrant for Lowell's car. As for Sophie and I, we only had a little bit of time before we could go talk to Mr. Eubank himself. In the short time I've known him, I could never see Mr. Eubank as a murderer. Was Lowell's evidence truly enough to convict him? We had to wait for the plea deal before finding out. End of Case 5, Part 2. Okay, I'm going to save there. This case is longer than I thought it would be. But hey, that means I probably got one more stream left of this. How do I save? Help. Save. There it is. Alright, shit's getting interesting now. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. We'll catch you tomorrow for... I think it's gonna be Archipelago tomorrow is the plan. I'll have to double check with everybody. Otherwise, Boko and I are gonna try to play some Neo. But yeah, otherwise, have a good night, everyone. Bye. Oh, God.